So a couple weeks back, we did a precursor video to this one where Alan went over all of the features of the X series guns. They have both the pistol calibers, such as the 357 here, 45 Colt and 44 Magnum, and then there is the more rifle calibers. They've got the 30-30, the 45-70, all of your traditional lever gun calibers. In addition, they do have one in 410, which is one of Henry's more preferred calibers of the last couple of years. They figured out they could put it in a lever gun, and they started doing it left and right, which I'm a big fan of, actually. I love the 410 in a lever gun or a single shot. But this video is about the X series. So we finally got the 357 Magnum in, which is the one that we personally wanted to review because that's my favorite choice for a lever gun. Just all around versatility. I can hunt with it in my state. In addition, the virtuosity of the calibers between, 38 Special and 357, you've got your big powerhouse for hunting, and you have a relatively cheap cartridge for range time. So that's what we did. We took 38s and 357s out on the range today and put a bunch of rounds through this gun. Probably close to 150 rounds. And it works like a dream. So just briefly, because again, we do have a video going over all of the features of this gun, I'm going to go over them very quickly. So all black synthetic furniture, blacked receiver and barrel. The barrel is a bluing, but the receiver, I believe, is a form of nitride coating. Black furniture on everything. You have fiber optic front and rear iron sights. The receiver is drilled and tapped for a dovetail mount or a Picatinny mount should you want to mount optics on your lever gun. It is an enlarged loop, but it's not one of the big D loops. The really, really huge loops that you'll see on some of the 4570s. This is more of a mid-size, so it's not that traditional, very narrow curved loop, but it's more of an oval. So very comfortable. I don't like the big D loops because I feel like I'm punching the loop every time I try to rack the gun, if that makes sense, because there's just so much space. I have to move my hand inside the loop, contact the outside, and then drive it forward. As opposed to this one, it's right there. Just enough space, it's comfortable, bare hand or gloves, and cycles just fine, very comfortable. On the front handguard, we do have a Picatinny section for lights, lasers, and anything. I know you yahoos are probably going to want to put a vertical foregrip on there just because, and wow, I wouldn't do that. This is America, so you do whatever you want. In addition, it has M-lock slots on both sides of the handguard here. So you can mount. Probably the only thing I would mount to this gun is a light on the side, okay? You could do just your standard handgun light will mount on a Picatinny rail, or you could do a more rifle dedicated light, which could be a Surefire, one of the Streamlight HLs that's going to have more lumen output. Or you could put one of those nifty blood tracking lights. I think that'd be an excellent option. Typically those are red or green, at least to what our eye perceives. They're not hard to be seen by animals. They don't mess with your natural night vision like a white light does. So that would be a really great option for this gun. And you can just mount pretty much anything you want on those. Now, this gun, as Alan said before, is not necessarily for the lever gun purist. Me personally, this is about as we'll call it functional, as opposed to the tactical buzzword. This is about as functional as I would want to go in a lever gun because I consider myself a little bit of a lever gun purist. I love the wood furniture. I love the blued receivers and just that nice feeling of an old school American rifle, okay? If I want a black gun that's, kitted out as it were, I have my AR for that. I'm not buying a lever gun to use for tactical matches or anything like that. So I don't really like the M-lock forends and all this other stuff you can do to them. This is, in my opinion, the perfect balance, okay? It's made for durability, weather resistance, it's lightweight while still retaining that same look. It's very, very functional. It would be an excellent hunting gun, an excellent range gun, and it still has that classic look and appeal that a lever gun does. I think Henry did an excellent job at maintaining the integrity of the lever gun while still giving you some features that a lot of people want nowadays. And it shot excellently. Close range, faster shots, all the way out to, I believe we went out to 75 yards with a 38 special. The fiber optics are excellent. And when I say excellent, I mean they work really good, okay? I do have a tiny gripe, but it's a personal opinion thing. I don't like when there are two different color fiber optics front and rear. I think it confuses your eye for no reason. Fiber optic in the front with a black to rear is my ideal choice, okay? Because then there's only one glowy thing that you're focusing on. All right, as opposed to this, you don't know that you're doing it, but your eye is struggling to focus on these different points, okay? Because while your eye picks up green better, it still is very good at picking up fiber optic in the red and orange spectrum, so I'd prefer it just be blacked. That being said, very easy to overcome. It's a preference thing, and these work great. They're excellent iron sights. The rear is adjustable for elevation and windage if you drift it, and they work very well. We shot it in, not low light, but medium light. It's a very cloudy day, a little bit later in the day, so the fiber optics were doing very good. I'm not sure who makes these, but they're very good fiber optic sights. I wouldn't change them. In addition, just while we're up on the barrel, it is threaded, so you could put a Cool Guy suppressor on there if you have one. We do not, but the 38 Special in a lever gun with a suppressor would be excellent. It's very easy to make a 38 a subsonic load. This lever gun, lever action, is probably the fastest manual cycling action, so you could crank down near movie quiet rounds and throw those down range. Again, we don't have a suppressor, but for information, that would be a very excellent choice, and it comes pre-threaded. Every model in the pistol calibers comes pre-threaded. I think the only one that doesn't is the 410. It's just a smooth barrel all the way out. Now, my favorite thing about this gun is how you can load it. I have loved Henry rifles for a very long time. The only problem I had with them was the tube loading as opposed to having a side gate. Now, I have no problem with tube loading. I know how to load through a tube, and it works fine. I mean, it's not unreliable by any means. And if you practice, you can do it quickly. The sole reason I want a gate is to be able to top off the rifle, okay? I don't want to have to shoot it dry every time or completely disable my gun to reload it or top off the magazine tube, as it were. The side gate is excellent. For me, the only reason I would get a Marlin over a Henry would be to get a side gate. And now, that is a moot point because Henrys are putting side gates on their rifles, which is excellent. I've been wanting them to put a side gate on a Henry lever action for 10 years, and they finally did it. And it works great. Very smooth loading. They did a good job deburring all the surfaces around the side gate. So while it is still not difficult, but you have to put a very conscious effort into loading those rounds, it is easy to do if you know what you're doing. There's no hard edges for the round to get stuck on and hemmed up and then smashed in the loading gate. It works very good. Also, the tube loading works fine. Henry tube loading is, I would argue, a bomb-proof mechanism that they've been using for many years, and it works excellently. Finally, we'll just go to comfort. It was very comfortable to shoot. I mean, follow-up shots, especially in something like a 38 357 that's a handgun load, technically, feels like nothing. The 357, even though that is a powerhouse of a round out of this length barrel, feels like nothing. I mean, it's very easy to shoot. And the 38 feels like a 22, not to use an overused analogy, but really it does. I mean, I was surprised the first time I shot it with a 38 and just how light it was. I also contribute that to the butt pad. The X series comes with this very soft rubber butt pad as opposed to the standard Henrys, which sometimes will have just a brass plate on the back. So that helps a lot. Just a very comfortable rifle to shoot. Easy to cycle. I'll give it a double thumbs up. If this one wasn't already spoken for, I'd probably be getting it for myself because it is such a versatile rifle. So I absolutely loved it. I was happy to be able to shoot it, but not good though because it's making me want to spend money I don't necessarily have. I don't have anything else really to say about it. The only negatives I had was just the style of sights, and that's not even really a negative. That's just entirely a preference thing. So I love it. It's an excellent rifle. We are getting these into the store along with the other X series that we have. The 357s were the hardest to get a hold of because it's a very, very popular caliber. But we are getting those into the store for you to look at and purchase. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. This is an excellent rifle for hunting, plinking, whatever you want to do with it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. I'm Dean with Old English Outfitters, and we will see you next week.